Hey guys, welcome back to another video.
Oh hey, it's Messenger. Nice to see you again, mate. How have you been? And have you gotten any less silly than last time we spoke? I do hope so. And that you are not about to go on a diatribe that makes me talking of the destruction of all humans sound downright reasonable by comparison.
In this video, it is all about how to turn Christian from atheism.
Oh no. Okay, so you're going to turn someone away from the light of atheismo into the darkness of fakeismo? Not sure how you're going to do that, but okay. And is this that someone wants to do that and you are going to help them? Because, well, that should be piss easy, since if you want to, chances are you basically already have, because that's how belief works. Or is it that you can turn, like, say, me? Because, well, we shall see about that, bucko. I am famously stubborn when it comes to believing things that are objectively bullshit for some bizarre reason.
I recommend subscribing so you keep absorbing the right information, and push the bell button so you never miss a video. Because I promise you, it's worth it.
Subscribe so we absorb the right information? Jesus, my dude, that has got to be one of the most ludicrously arrogant claims I think I've ever heard. That's fucking amazing if I'm completely honest, and I can only hope that that leads to some wonderfully silly content. Because as we all know, arrogance unironically makes idiots about 1,000 times funnier. Also, do that subscribe and bell shit for me, so that you can absorb all the wrong information and make yourself the big dumb. You know you want to.
Continue to watch this video until the end to get all the information you need.
You see, I would do that, but it's always so fucking stupid, so by the time I get to about 3 or 4 minutes in, my brain starts to leak out of my ears, and my eyes roll so far into the back of my head, I can watch that happen from the inside. So I have to stop. But every single time I check ahead to see if maybe a good point is made later, it never has. But you know what? Let me check now, and I'll let you know. Carry on.
Let's begin.
Nope. And God, I forgot you're one of those guys so desperate to be the famous YouTuber that you buy all the shit first and have fancy looking content and then forget to be, you know, talented or smart or interesting. So barely anyone but assholes like me tend to find your content because we're looking for it. But let me give any aspiring YouTubers out there a piece of advice. If you don't think that you can start a channel without all the fancy shit, don't start a channel, because no one watches for the pretty intro, the nice set, or the fancy cameras. They watch because you bring something to the table. If you don't already have that, it's not going to suddenly appear when you buy a fucking neon sign with Amen written on it.
So here we are in the view of an atheist, right? I'm gonna be an atheist in this video in some part.
Oh God, what's he going to say? Taking all bets now. Is it going to be 1, me am the hate God man, 2, God not real cause science though, 3, me am no want believe Jod, or 4, just a long drawn out durr noise. Make your pick down below in the comments, including your own guesses, partly because algoritmo demands it, but mostly so if you say something funny I can steal it.
I don't believe in a God.
Oh, f me, it was number 3. And just listen to that faux Freudian slip. 2 seconds into the meat of the video and you're already trying to poison the well with, atheists just don't want to believe in God. No, motherfucker, that's not how that works, at least for anybody who is actually an atheist. And to act like that's just what atheists think to any extent is disingenuous as all fuck. Bad theist, no.
I don't want to worship a mythical God. He killed my family.
Wait, what? No. The fuck is that? Where to start with just about any of that sentence? I mean, first, for your average atheist, that simply is completely insane and asinine thing to say. They don't believe in him. How could a not real boy did that? And you know what? Personally, I find it just out and out insulting. I was the one to kill my family, at least the ones I didn't like, and the fact that God wants to steal the credit for that is frankly disgusting to me. Glory-hogging bastard.
If he was merciful, he would have saved them.
No, you absolute brainlet, they don't believe in him. How do you fucking apologist dumbasses always f that up? This idea that you cannot fathom that someone doesn't hold the exact same belief as you and just, I don't know, lie about it is so bafflingly stupid. I still to this day cannot wrap my head around it. You must have been told multiple times and yet you refuse to believe that they aren't just lying to you. They couldn't possibly actually believe the things they say, because I believe something different. Do you see how stupid that makes you sound? No, obviously not, otherwise you would stop.
Does that sound merciful, Christians?
Okay, let's address the merciful point. What are you talking about? people die, that's a fact of life. In fact, many times, a person's death is the merciful thing, when they've spent their time suffering without any hope of getting better. So, what are you talking about? And of course, again, no atheist with half a brain cell would say this unironically, because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay, so now back to me. Those are questions that I've actually heard either in my social media or it's just out there.
Translation. No one has ever said this to me, but I'm going to pretend they have for the sake of strawmanning atheism. Because if I don't strawman them, I have nothing to say, since my opinions are about as useful as a cobweb condom. And I come to that conclusion not because I checked his social media out, but because he felt the need to say that these things are just out there, instead of showing anyone saying them ever, which basically means that they didn't.
Okay, so what I gotta say to this is that God does not cause deaths, okay? He does not cause anything negative.
You sure about that, buddy? The Bible might have something to say about that. I seem to remember that there were a couple of arcs, both literally and story-wise, in there that had God very much killing the shit out of people. But if you mean he doesn't do that anymore, assuming that he is what y'all say, aka all-power boy, then yeah, he does. Because he literally causes everything. Otherwise, he's not God.
Anything that has suffering or hurt or even emotional hurt, it's definitely not from him.
That's fucking hilarious in both you answering a question that no one, at least atheist-wise, would be asking, and that it is just wrong anyway, based on the things that you fucking believe. You know, this is so much worse than the first video of yours I covered. I thought people were supposed to get better at this with experience, not 10 times worse.
He is a loving God and so caring and so merciful. But why do we blame God for everything?
Well, you might blame God for everything, but I don't believe in him, because I'm this thing that you've obviously never heard of called an atheist, where I don't find the claims for his existence compelling, so have come to the conclusion that he is probably a construct made up by other people for various reasons, including to explain things they don't understand and to control people. If you blame God for everything, then that's your problem and you need to take it up with him. Maybe tell him to stop being such a dick to you.
You see, through time, we've forgotten one character.
Ah, of course, I know where he's going with this. The cause of all the world's ills. I know him very well. It's fucking Frank, that asshole from down the road. I've seen him hanging around his house like he owns the place. I watch him drive his car into town as if he's allowed to do that. And the way he just exists to spite me is more than I can handle sometimes. Fucking Frank.
The devil. What is the devil? What is it?
Oh, I can answer that one. It's not real. It's a fake thing, like God, used to explain things people don't understand and to control people again. It's not something atheists believe in. And despite what your peanut brain might think, we have actually heard of him. You don't need to tell us about it. We don't believe in him, not because we're ignorant of it, but because he doesn't real. So I have no idea why you think sitting there talking about the devil is going to do anything other than making your atheist you're trying to turn Christian into saying, but that don't real though, mate.
Yes, I said it.
It? Rude? The devil isn't an it. It's an it. And it isn't the devil. It's a character from a film series called It. And the devil is a sexy man from a TV show called Lucifer. Man, you really need to keep up with your old pop culture references. You are sounding so out of touch now, mate.
Why do we not notice the devil, but we notice God?
Can't say I noticed either, for some reason that I'm not going to fucking repeat. But it does show your sheer bloody-minded arrogance that you have done nothing to convince any athebob of the truth of Christianity and instead chosen to assume it and act as if everyone else already believes it. And the same version of it that you believe. You know, it's almost like you are kind of a dumb man who doesn't know what they are talking about.
Let me tell you why right now. It's because we can pray for somebody with cancer, right? As an example.
You can pray for people with cancer? How on earth do you use cancer to pray for people? Cancer is a disease, not a medium for communicating with deities. And why would you want to do that? Surely we want less cancer in the world and not more. Man, the further I get into this video, the more confusing it gets.
And we pray day and night for God to heal this person and the cancer to be completely gone.
Oh, right, yeah. You meant the people who have cancer are the ones you're praying for. Okay, that's my B, but why would you even do that? If God didn't want them to have cancer, surely he wouldn't have given them cancer in the first place. Yeah, I know. Actually, devil do that. So then why did God let the devil do that? AKA, why did he want the devil to do that? Otherwise, he might have done something about it. He is all-powerful after all. Obviously, he wants it. And you asking him to stop seems like the kind of thing God would let the devil fuck you up for.
But then the next day, the person passes away. Oh dear, how tragic. Look, I'm not laughing because someone died. Mostly. I'm laughing, because that's what I said would happen. God is like, what, you want me to fix the thing I did? Well, f*** you, buddy, I'm going to make it 10 times worse. That's what you get for questioning God, because he really hates that. Makes the whole praying for basically any other reason than to say, good job, mate, seem kind of pointless. And you're confused. I prayed all day, you prayed all night.
Maybe you should have, taken them to a doctor or something instead of doing all this free, worthless praying. I don't know, though. Doing things does require that effort shit and thoughts and prayers. Hell, you can do those while you're doing something way more fun and entertaining. So you can pretend like you actually care. And I am nothing if not a fan of not actually giving a f*** about other people.
But nothing worked. And you start thinking to yourself, am I just praying to a non-existent thing?
Christ, dude, you are really going out of your way to make the case for atheism, aren't you? I'm surprised this video isn't called How to Convert a Christian to Atheism or something like that. I know I'll be calling it How Not to Do, well, f***ing anything really. Whatever it is you are actually trying to achieve, you are failing hard, my dude.
Is he not even real? No, he's very much real. He's very much alive.
Not only real, but also alive, eh? You know the whole God is dead and we have killed him thing? That's not supposed to be literal, right? The idea of that phrase isn't that mortal humans have the capacity to go and kill their supernatural super beings, because they're being too much trouble. They aren't f***ing Klingons, my dude. It just means that the idea of needing imaginary friends for humans to progress and be good and survive, etc., is just not necessary anymore. God is dead, because he was never alive to begin with. Get over it.
But when you pray, you must use faith, people, okay? Faith means trust. It means you put it in his hands.
It means you believe something without any evidence for it or any good reason to believe it other than it would be really, really nice if he did. Faith is a terrible reason to believe anything, and if that's all you have, then I can't see that convincing anyone with critical faculties to completely change the way they see or understand the universe, because that would be f***ing dumb.
With no worries, nothing at all.
So not only do you have to believe in God based on nothing, you also can't worry about anything ever. That's all well and good when you can afford a fancy set without the talent, but some of us have bills to pay. You think whiskey just falls out of the sky there, buddy? And I assume other people have other expenses, but I can't for the life of me imagine what any of them are.
If you were to go back and look on how you prayed, how would you say?
Well, from how I would pray, I would first stand on my head and then begin spinning in place, start pissing violently everywhere before finally gaining enough momentum to fly into outer space, where all my dreams would come true. Those dreams being as far away from people as inhumanly possible.
Crying, scared, desperate. Doesn't look like faith, but used prayer as your last option.
What? No, it shouldn't. Aside from the fact that prayer doesn't f***ing work, even in your fantasy land, how f***ing lazy and not taking responsibility for your life is that shit? You should, I don't know, fix the issue or figure out what's wrong, and in medical cases, go to the f***ing doctor. You shouldn't be asking your pretend best mate to fix all your problems for you. And if you can't fix it yourself, the next step should be to, ask real people that you know that are real, because again, they can actually do something. There's a reason prayer is the last thing people try, at least in their own lives, when they have stakes in the situation. It's because #thoughts and prayers don't do shit, and they actually want the problem solved, you dippy prat.
Prayer should be the first thing you think of. It should be the first thing when there's something negative in your life, somebody else's life. Pray for them, even if they don't let you and they walk off. Pray for them anyway.
And that's how you end up with people getting offended when you pray for them. Because you'll be praying for things that don't need to be fixed, just because you think it's a problem. So you do a thing to try and fix it,
and even if it doesn't work, that you are even trying to fix someone's like sexuality or the fact that they don't want to get married or have kids or fucking whatever, it's extremely rude. And you not understanding or respecting why someone asked you not to doesn't make you any less of a dickhead for proceeding to do it anyway.
It should be the first go-to for you to command everything negative to just go away, like the cancer to just go away immediately.
As if actually hardcore Crimsbians don't do that. And guess what? It never fucking works. Oh sure, there is such a thing as spontaneous regression of cancers, but that's incredibly rare. So rare that it definitely cannot be relied upon to do shit. And the rest of the time when cancer goes away, it's not because that's what happened. It's because they went to their fucking naturopath, who diagnosed some random spot on their face as cancer, and it went away on its own because it wasn't fucking cancer.
You're scared, you're crying, you're desperate of what the doctor has to say. You don't care what the doctor says. It's what God says. He is your medicine.
Nope, this and you too, buddy. This is the kind of shit that gets people to ignore medical advice and end up in situations where prayer is all they have left. And that is so fucked up. You really should be ashamed of yourself. And worst of all, this doesn't have anything to do with atheism or convincing anyone of anything. It's just you masturbating over your own sense of smug self-righteousness. Worthless as always. Well done, mate.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was gonna tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the